Yo, I got a question for you.
One sec.
All right. Okay, yeah, so imagine this, right? You're getting chased by a pit bull. Let's just say you're in like an open field and this pit bull's running at you. Would it be scarier if the pit bull had a knife that killed your entire family? Like, imagine some random dude, he came up, huss, huss, huss. He killed your family with that knife and then attached it to the dog's collar. Would you be more scared of the dog in that instance? That's a lot to unpack. I don't know where you got this question from. I would say that the pit bull is not scarier because the knife is probably stabbing that hoe. And if it's not, like, I got bigger problems to worry about. A pit bull is chasing me. There's no like, ooh, like there's not increased fear by that, you know what I'm saying? Also, why are you sitting like that? What are you talking about?
How did they move that fast?
You think it's just as scary? Like, that's crazy. This guy is an idiot, but he brings up an absurd question. One that makes no sense, but also one that is fun to engage with, like this one. Okay, but I have another question though. What if there was a Yao Ming-sized zombie and we're in World War Z? And this Yao Ming zombie's chasing you, right? But you find these doors and they're the size big enough to where you can fit through them, but short enough to where he'll hit his head on the top. Would he duck or would he hit his head on the top of the door? He'd probably hit his head. I mean, they don't have a sense of self-preservation. This guy is extremely slept on. Wait, no. This guy is extremely intelligent. I would take all of his opinions as fact. Not only that, but I think this is a topic that is very slept on. I feel like so many people have lost this urge to ask questions. Like, even if they are absurd and they don't need to be answered, they promote a good behavior. A drive to be curious, to be able to form and understand one's own opinion and argue them effectively. These questions give us a desire to ask questions in other areas. Like sometimes I'll ask myself, why do I believe a certain thing? Even if I believe that thing to be like 100% true.
We have so many ideas we see as certain, but we don't actually fully understand why we see them that way. Now, what we should do is we should ask ourselves these seemingly absurd questions so that we may understand what we deem to be true and why we believe it to be true.
I want us to ask more ridiculous questions just so that we can ask more questions in general so that it can open that pathway. When we stop asking questions, we stop getting answers. The first people who learned what you're trying to learn right now were required to ask questions. Why do I believe this? Why can't I fix this? Why wouldn't I be able to do that? When we stop asking questions, when we become people who never ask questions, we become people who never make change. This video was never about asking super dumb questions like the pit bull situation or the Yao Ming incident, right? It's about asking questions, about being curious, because when you kill your curiosity, you become a drone pretty much, right? You just become a worker for somebody else. But when you have curiosity of your own, when you learn the things that you want to, that's when you can really become somebody who makes change. Of course, not everybody's gonna have the maximum curiosity. Not everyone's gonna be able to make their own ideas come to fruition. But if you wanna be one of those people, then let your curiosity shine. Learn something that you're interested in, or learn how to do certain skills. Learn, ask questions and learn from them, and then you can make change. So ask absurd questions that you may be able to ask questions in the future that have a lot more impact. That's all I got. I'd like to know if you got it this far and people are watching this in the future or right now, what is your take on the pit bull situation? I kind of want to talk about that for a second. Me and my friend argued this. It was stupid. It was funny though. If you search up TGP_KDT, that's a YouTube channel that me and my friend made a couple videos on, like 13. And yeah, it was just such a dumb question. It's on The Walking Dead, season 3, episode 1 or 2 of the gameplay, I'm not sure. And the question was, if a pit bull would be scarier if it had a knife that killed your family on it. And it's like, it'd be weirder for sure, but when you're getting chased by a pit bull, are you worried about its accessories? Like, I just feel like it wouldn't be as scary. Also the Yao Ming thing, you know, a zombie that will hit his head. Like, do you think that it hit his head or not? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. If you ever watched World War Z, them boys are sporadic. Them boys just run around wherever they want to go. They don't care if they run into something. So I personally think that, you know, he'd hit his head on the door frame. But yeah, that's all I got. Unrelated to the video at all. So to wrap this up, never stop asking questions. Always be curious. Thanks for watching and praise God.